Welcome back. I'm joined by Mike Patton and Michelle Simard as we unpack the Ontario provincial election, which was just recently called, well over a year ahead of when it was scheduled for. So let's delve right into some of the issues. Michelle, I'll start with you. So which issues do you feel are featuring front and center or will be featuring front and center in this election campaign?
Tariffs, tariffs, tariffs. I mean, it's just out there. It's what everybody's talking about. And it's the whole, like you just mentioned in the previous segment, it works to his advantage to call an election early because now he has a mandate that he can call for. So it's always going to be about that. I mean, we're hearing now he's ripping up the Starlink contract. He's
Mhm.
pushing the biggest purchaser of alcohol in the world, the LCBO, to not purchase any more American alcoholic products, which is going to hurt very badly. The good thing is that because we're the largest buyer, that Ontarians will still have a lot of selection. It's not like it's going to be bad, but of course, people may not exactly get what they want. And that will hurt in some ways. But overall, I think he's doing a very good job of saying this is enough. But I still think there's more steps that he can do, and he'll probably do it for this election.
Well, Mike, let's talk about that for a second. So, here we see Trump with his "Made in China, Made in Canada," Team Canada hat or Canada First hat. Championing and filling a void and a vacuum that has been left by the Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. We'll see him probably coming roaring back in these next few weeks as Trump's tariffs have now appeared. Uh, but unlike Danielle Smith, he has not had FaceTime with Donald Trump. He has not been invited or met with Donald Trump and his advisors. I mean, Danielle Smith is all over the place. It seems like she's championing really the Canadian cause at the moment. What effect will these measures have actually in helping Canada get to a proper negotiating table with Donald Trump?
Well, Ontario is in the worst possible position as far as the tariffs go because we think about automobile manufacturing, but more than 50% of all the exports to the United States from Ontario are manufactured goods. It's an awful lot easier for Alberta. They're shipping oil, and the Americans are still going to need the oil. Quebec
Mm.
is sending electricity, but Donald Trump is really targeting manufactured goods, and that puts Ontario at an enormous disadvantage.
Well, and again, Michelle, Trump's not talking to Ford. They don't seem to care. So what mandate are we really asking if we give Doug Ford a third majority? Like, what does it matter?
I hear what you're saying, but the problem is the alternatives are not they're just not good enough for the job right now, unfortunately. Many people don't know who Marit Stiles is for the NDP, and many people don't know who Bonnie Crombie is. And so it's unfortunate because they don't have enough time to boost their presence with Ontario voters, that really the alternatives, they can't even step up. So whether Ford gets by sheer luck. It's certainly not talent because there's a lot of issues at play, the RCP investigation, a lot of the mistakes that have been made. But really, it's the good timing of things that happen because the two female leaders are not very known, and now they will not have enough time to get their messages out there.
Yeah, so it was a very political savvy decision to call the election early. That's for certain. Let's shift gears to some other issues. Healthcare seems to be cropping up as one of the perennial issues. It used to be affordability. It seems to be taking a second seat now to healthcare as there are doctor shortages just continue to mount. We saw those photos from Walkerton, Ontario, with people lined up across the block trying to queue in line for a new doctor who's taking some patients. Mike, how does that issue factor into this election? And are the PC, the Progressive Conservative Party, the ones who will deliver on that?
Well, that was the issue that both Merritt South and Bonnie Crombie really wanted to run on, was the issue of lack of healthcare, lack of family doctors, lack of services in the medical system. And that was the issue they were really going to push. And Doug Ford really promised to fix this, and their argument was that he hadn't. Now, what's happened is this has taken a back burner, and they're stuck not talking about healthcare, but about tariffs. And I think this particular issue is really going to take a back seat.
Yes.
Yeah, Michelle, we have 30 seconds. You want to chime in there?
Yes, it's like I said, you asked me what it's about, tariffs, tariffs, tariffs. And at the end of the day, they are going to talk about some of the other issues, but they're going to sweep them over under the rug to talk about the importance of tariffs, because right now it's hurting a lot of people very badly. And at the end of the day, it's a perfect topic for them to do. And despite whatever the two other women leader can do, they can't. There is one NPP, Tom Rakocevic, who had his good day at the legislature, and he said they become the new liberals.
Okay, we're going to pick this up in just a few moments.